guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brittany, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about my experience at the Woman Evolve event. Ooh, when I say sis, if you was not in the building, then sis, that's all I'm going to say. It was so awesome. So awesome. It was probably one of the best experiences I've had in a long time. So I'm gonna tell you all to kind of rewind as to how I got there. So probably a month or so ago, in my praying, the Lord placed in my spirit to go to the event. And so with me, what you all will learn as I make more videos and I talk a little bit more about myself, I am a master procrastinator. Like, I procrastinate, and it is something that I am and have been praying for the Lord to just help me with, because it's ridiculous at this point. It's ridiculous how much I procrastinate. But anyway, so like I said, the Lord placed in my spirit, like, Brittany, go to this event. Go to a Woman Evolve event. And so initially I was excited to go. Well, let me go back. So he told me to go to the event, but to go by myself. And so, as I mentioned before, if you looked at my first video, I am an introvert of an introvert. Like, if it means me going, and it's a lot of people, and it's very uncomfortable for me. And so when the Lord told me to do that, my initial thoughts was, I don't know about that, but I was like, okay, I'll go. And so, I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go. But I waited. I didn't initially go ahead and book my ticket. And like I said, mind you, this was back in August. I was already behind the curve. I'll soon learn. I was already behind the curve. So, like I said, the Lord placed in my spirit, I did start looking at the tickets, how much everything would be, hotel costs, this, that, and the third. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll wait till Tuesday, to book the trip, because, pretty much that's what they say is the cheapest airfare, is on Tuesday. So I was like, I'll wait the following Tuesday. So the following Tuesday came around, and I looked at the airfare, and I was like, I believe I can get the airfare a little bit cheaper than this. So I'm like, I'm going to hold off. So I said, I'll wait till the next Tuesday. So the next Tuesday came around, and the tickets did go down, but I made another excuse as to why I didn't book it. So, fast forward, it's 2 weeks before the event. And so I was still kind of like, I know I need to go, but it's like I had already made up in my mind that, well, the tickets are high, and, my boys, which I'm going to introduce them later in my videos, and my husband. I was like, my boys, they play basketball. There's too much going on. Like, I'm just not going to go. I'm not going to go, and then I don't have nobody to go with. Like, I'm not going to go. Even though the Lord had already told me, like, bring your family, that I could bring my family. But, so yeah, I was like, I'm just not going to go. So like I said, I had already made up my mind, I'm not going, but I would still see like but I would still see like, posts from Sarah Jakes Roberts. I would still see other things kind of like leading up to the events, like emails and stuff like that. But it was still kind of like me talking against myself, like, no, I'm not going to go. Like, I'll go next year. So anyway, fast forward, like I say, I just been in a place of, I've been wanting for God to do things for me. But it's like, what God has placed in my heart, it's like, Brittany, like, you want me to do these things that are almost, to the natural man, impossible, but then I don't want to get out of my comfort zone. Like, he's been placing in my heart, like, Brittany, in order for me to do what you're wanting for me to do in your life, like big things. Like, I've asked God for big things. I'm talking about big things. And it's like, it's like, I've been putting God in this box to where I want him to do things for me, but when he asks me to do something, I don't want to do it because it's uncomfortable. So anyway, like I say, I had been getting in the habit of listening to an audiobook called The Power of Thinking. I'm sorry, I'm gonna put it so you all can see it. But anyway, I had been listening to the book, and like I say, one Thursday morning of the event. So the event started on Thursday. Thursday of the event, I was in the shower, and once again, initially I was like, it's too late. It started today. But I literally heard the Holy Spirit tell me, delayed but not denied. I'm sorry, delayed but not denied. And so immediately I was like, wow, like, it ain't too late. A lot of times we talk ourselves out of stuff because we feel like we're too late. But what the Lord placed in my heart was that, or in my spirit was that, delayed but not denied. And so immediately when I got out the shower, I went and I looked at the tickets. And y'all, the tickets was the flight from Atlanta to Dallas was 6 times the amount that it would have been had I booked it and been obedient from the beginning. But because I waited, it was 6 times more than the original price. And so, but it was still something in me that said, you know what, like, even though this ticket was 6 times the amount that it would have been when I first booked it, I'm going. And even with the hotel room, I think I paid, like, for 2 nights now, just for 2 nights, like 4 times the amount that it probably would have been, had I booked it in the beginning. But it was still like something in my spirit that was like, I don't care. Like, I don't care what it's gonna cost in order for me to be in the room. I'm going. And so, like I say, that same day, we booked the flights, we booked the hotel room, and then that next morning we was leaving out. And so our flight landed. So our flight left Atlanta at 7:30, I believe, or yes, it was 7:30, and the flight landed like 8:45 Central Standard Time. And so immediately after I got off the flight, thankfully we was able to check into the hotel room early, which I know it was nobody but God, because normally hotel rooms, they'll tell you, well, no, it's too early. But no, like, we was able to check into the hotel room, so I was able to get in there and get changed, and I immediately headed over to the event. So that event on Friday started at 10 a.m. And so, like I said, when I got to the event, it's like when you walk through the building, like, it was just like the energy was already there. Like, the energy was just there. I think Tasha Cobb was performing at that point, but the energy was just there. Like, I mean, it was just a beautiful setup. The arena was huge. It was so many women. I mean, it was just beautiful. And so when I got there, again, the introvert in me, I kind of like looked around the lower level. Of course, I had the friends level because they had already sold out of, I think it's called the inner circle, where you can go to like to sit on the floor. So I couldn't get down there, but they did have like a lower level. And even with those were booked. So, I mean, not booked, but they were already filled. But I was kind of like looking to see if I could find like maybe like one single seat. But I mean, when I say all of those seats were full, they were full. So I just kind of walked around for a little bit, just kind of still kind of like peeking in to see if I could find like a little spot or find a seat. And so finally someone was like, just go to the second level. And so when I went to the second level, it was the same way. Like, all of the seats was full. And so they had like a little section behind the seats where you could kind of like pull up a chair, but you could still see, I could still see the stage pretty good. And so I was able to set up, my seat. I was able to, it's a little place where I could like even, write down my notes and all of that. And like I say, the energy in the room was just it was just beautiful. It was just absolutely beautiful. And so on that Friday, like I said, Tasha Cobb was performing when I first got there. But the person who really, really stood out to me was Cheryl Brady. And I'll tell y'all, like, I had never heard of her before. I've listened to Bishop T.D. Jakes, his sermons before, but I had never heard of Cheryl before this event. But yeah, when she got on stage, when I say, like, she was everything. Like, she was everything. I mean, I cannot describe, like, the fire that this lady brought to this event. Like, it was just so on point. Everything that she said was like she was speaking directly to me. And I'm sure a lot of other women in that place felt the same way. It was like it was directly to me. So it's like, it just lit like a fire. Like, like, what the heck are we waiting on? Like, what are we waiting on? Like, we got to get out here and truly, like I say, take this thing by force, but yeah, so that was the first day. I didn't stay for the pajama and chat portion session. I ended up leaving after Cheryl's after her portion, only because, like I said, I had been up since 1 o'clock that morning, and I had only got like 1 hour of sleep, and so I was tired. So I ended up heading back to my hotel room. And that was another thing too. Like, for the next event, I rented me a car, because them Ubers was no joke. Like, we literally stayed 0.6 miles. I could literally see the hotel room from the Globe Life field. But one Uber ride, it would be $6 for you to get there, and then coming back, it would be $20. And so I want to say, like, in the whole time that, and I was there from Friday till Sunday, in that time period, I think I may have spent like well over $200 in Uber rides, just going back and forth. And it wasn't even like a long distance. It was like short distances going back and forth, and it was like well over $200. So I will say, for the next event, I will probably rent a vehicle. And yeah, the traffic was there. The traffic was definitely there. But yeah, I would rent a vehicle versus taking the Ubers. And they did have a shuttle from the hotel to the event, or to the Globe Life field. But the shuttle was running so weird, and I didn't want to miss the different sessions. So I just ended up just taking the Uber. So like I said, that was that Friday. Like I said, Friday, again, I got there a little bit after 10:30 that morning. And like I said, Tasha Cobb, she was on the stage, and like I said, I caught her session, her performance, excuse me. And then like I say, Friday was awesome. And so Saturday, I made a point to get there on time. And y'all, my own time is a little bit after time. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm just gonna keep it real. The Lord's still working with me when it comes to me being on time. However, I think when I made it there, it was a little after 10. But they was just beginning the men's talk portion of it, where they had Devin Franklin, they had the Bishop T.D. Jakes, they had it was another guy, I don't know who he was. They had Sarah Jakes, her brother, and they had I think his name is David Mann. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm horrible with names, but yeah, I want to say his name is, I know he's Tamala Mann's husband. But yeah, so they had them on stage, and like I said, that was really awesome too. I really enjoyed that panel. Like I said, they was just keeping it real. They was just talking about, like, how women in business, and how us as women, how we can just do better in supporting our man and being able to communicate with our men. Not to kill the fire that's in us, but to still know, to still have that fire within us, but still know how to communicate with our men even in that process. And so that really blessed me, like I said, in my marriage, and how they gave some really great tidbits on, you know, what us as women can do better when it comes to communicating with our men, our husbands. And so I really like that. And then after that, that is when, and so I'm sorry y'all too, my memory is kind of off. Like I said, it was the event was so full that, like I say, I'm still trying to piece everything together. But after that, who came after that? Who came? I want to say Pastor Tori. Pastor Tori came after that. I want to say he preached after that, and I may be missing it wrong. Oh no, they had the performance. They had the performance by Chandler Moore, and that was so, oh my God, that was so awesome. I've always wanted to see him as well, because I love that the song, a lot of songs that he puts out. And so he had a performance, and like I said, the performance was on point. On Time God, yes, the On Time God. I can't sing, y'all. Excuse me, I can't sing. But yeah, that song was super awesome. And so yeah, that really blessed me as well. And then, like I said, after his performance, that's when Pastor Tori came out, and like I said, it was on point. Like I said, bring it on home. And that's what I'm doing now. Like I said, I left there just like knowing that I'm not going to be the same. And which is why I know, like, God just pushed me to go, because he knew what I needed. You know, he knew what I needed to hear. He knew that I needed to go too by myself, because a lot of times when I go with people, again, it's comfortable. So sometimes when we're comfortable, it causes for distractions. Sometimes we can't receive things because we're distracted. You know, and so I know that's why he led me to go by myself. But like I say, it was absolutely 20 out of 10. That conference was absolutely on point. And like I said, I've been to a few, and by far, like, that took the cake. Like, it was beautiful. Like, the vibe, the environment, like, you know, just being able to be amongst, you know, my sisters. You know, a lot of times black women, what they put on TV is that we always fighting, we beefing, we this, that, and the third. But to see black women in a room and to just love on each other, like, I had so many in my section alone, like, black women just grabbed my hand. She just grabbed my hand. It was during a session, where we were supposed to pray for one another, and we were supposed to speak life into one another. And I didn't have anybody, you know, to do it. And out of nowhere, this lady next to me, she just grabbed my hand, you know, and it just brought me to tears, because it was just like, oh my God, like, to feel love like that from somebody who, she didn't even know my name. And for her to grab my hand and just, and I looked at her and she looked at me, and we both just had tears in our eyes. It was just, like I said, it was just a beautiful experience. And I believe absolutely that it is absolutely needed. You know, for all people, whether you black, white, brown, purple, man, woman, it's absolutely needed, but specifically for black women. Because I truly believe that black women are taught to hate one another. We're taught to walk into a room with other black women and to automatically be on guard. But at this particular event, like I say, it was none of that. Like I said, this is my first solo event, and I felt so welcome. I felt so not alone. Like, even though I was by myself, as far as, you know, I didn't have any friends or anybody with me, I still felt so welcome, and I still felt so loved on and so comfortable. Like, I still felt comfortable. And so that's why I know that this was the place for me to be. And when I say I'm going to be back next year, and y'all, I'm going to get my ticket early. I am. Now, they did put the ticket for Woman Evolve 2024. They did, you know, make it available during the event. And I want to say up until Friday, it's going to be available for people to purchase the ticket early. And I'm going to. But I'm gonna try my best to, y'all. I'm gonna say that I am. But yeah, like I say, all in all, I mean, it was wonderful. Like I mean, it's to the point where I have to go back. It's like I'm looking for the next event that I can go to, because like I say, it's absolutely, again, important to be in rooms, to be in rooms where people are, number one, praising God. That's number one. Because God comes before first. He comes before business. He comes before family. He comes before everything. So that's number one, being in the place where God is being exalted and he's being worshiped and he's being praised. So that's number one. And number two, like I say, just to be in a room where, it's just love. It's just love. And that's what I loved about it. And like I said, I would absolutely be back next year. I absolutely would. And so yeah, if you stumble across my video and you went to the event, just comment below that you went to the event. And like I say, hopefully, next year, I can link up with a lot of different people, during the event, or, even go together. I live in Georgia. I live not too far from Atlanta. So maybe some of my ladies who, are coming from Atlanta, maybe we can link up and go. But, yeah, thank y'all. And like I say, please, y'all, I'm not really pushed to grow the channel to no big channel, nothing like that. But like I said, I'm just being obedient to God. So if it's on your heart to like it. And if it's on your heart to comment. And if it's on your heart to subscribe, then subscribe. And if not, then I just thank you for taking the time just to look at my video. Love y'all. Bye.